This track has been requested by quite a number of people, so it only seems right that we take a look at a race held in the city that is home to over 976,000 people and has an average of 301 sunny days a year, so you know what the weather is going to be like for these events. San Jose would be the host of 3 Champ Car races in its history, which would run from 2005 to 2007. The original idea was for the track to be held near downtown San Jose. However, due to financial reasons with street repairs and improvements, it was decided that the track would actually take place in downtown San Jose itself. The track was just 1.42 miles in distance and had only 8 turns. The track layout, depending on which angle you look at it from, looks like an upside down meat carver. Simplistic in nature? Sure, but that's not a bad thing though. Brands Hatch's Indy circuit is quite uncomplicated from a track map perspective, but that is a fantastic track. Also, the organisers did their part to try and boost this event in terms of the on-track product. They had support events from the Trans Am Series, Toyota Atlantic Championship, United States Touring Car Championship, Historic Stock Car Racing Series, and also featured the championship known nowadays as Formula Drift. So they made sure that the crowd had lots to see on track. Brilliant from a race fan's perspective. The weather was an ideal 29 degrees. Well, I say ideal, for me it would be pretty darn hot. But either way, a nice 29 degrees and picturesque sunny skies. What a day then to go motor racing. Well, it would be good, if it wasn't for the track not being much cop. Several modifications were made to the track, particularly in regards to the entry to the first corner, which is a very tight hairpin. To try and slow the cars down before the first corner hairpin, a chicane was installed mid-weekend, and to try and increase the amount of runoff, an entire grandstand was moved. That could be added to the list of strange occurrences that have happened in the world of racing. Just look at how narrow the track is. How on earth anyone envisaged this track would create overtaking opportunities in cars such as these, I have absolutely no idea. Anyway, as the cars crossed the line to begin the inaugural San Jose Grand Prix, they encountered what was probably the biggest problem of them all. No, I'm sorry, can we just pause this? Let's just pause this and just revel at, as well as process, what we are seeing in this still frame. Now, I'm all for trying something new and different. It's definitely unique, and an intriguing part of the track. However, we need to draw a line here, and we need to take a deep intake of breath, step back, and think, you know what? We may have to go a different direction here. They may be called light rail tracks, but they've still got rail tracks in the title. I don't think any driver fancies going over that at any great speed. I mean, they'll do it because they're racing drivers, but I can't imagine any of them would have been particularly happy about this, especially considering that they're hitting the tracks at over 120 miles an hour on a section of the track that narrows up to accommodate the pit lane exit, which already isn't a rather riveting pit to track rejoin in the first place. However, the cars are bouncing up into the air. Maybe if they were touring cars and you could just about let this pass without any modifications. But they aren't. They're monstrously powerful, stiffly sprung, thoroughbred single-seaters. No wonder a number of the cars didn't finish due to braking components. They wouldn't have stood a chance. The cars were quivering over even the mere thought of going across the rail tracks. Breathe in. And out. And relax. Okay, to cut a long story short, that section wasn't ideal. The drivers weren't happy at all. However, to give credit to the race organisers, whilst they could have just done nothing and let the same thing happen again, they were definitely proactive in making some changes for 2006. Also, to make the necessary changes to the track, the San Jose Council approved $4 million to be used in getting the track updated. For a start off, the rail tracks were gone. You can start rejoicing if you so wish. And the pit lane and the start-finish straight was swapped around. This would be beneficial to anyone who paid for premium seating, because due to the palm trees, they weren't able to see much of the cars going by in the 2005 race. Also, a number of sections which were incredibly narrow in the previous year's race were made much wider. I mean, it's not exactly spacious, but it's considerably better than what it used to be. Paul Tracy described the track changes as being 200% better. From then on, there wasn't any more track issues per se. However, it was still too narrow for any real passing chances to materialise. Turn 1 did seem to be a hot spot for trouble, which, considering it's a long straight leading into an incredibly tight hairpin, it's perhaps not much of a surprise. However, one issue which did transpire was the lack of any support race action. The Trans Am series was no longer in a relationship with Champ Car, and the only support category they'd be able to get would be the Formula BMW USA series, whilst the remaining budget would go to off-track entertainment. Now, whether the following attendance figures I'm about to say have any relation to the big reduction in the support bill is impossible for me to judge, but given how the attendance went from around 150,000 in 2005 to 120,192 in 2006, I wouldn't be surprised if that had an impact. To be fair, it could be down to how poor the 2005 race was. 2007 had the highest race day total attendance-wise, with 68,000, albeit had the worst attendance figure over the course of the 3 days, with 120,000. But 2007 would be the last we'd see of San Jose as a street track. The event would end up not taking place in 2008. Why? Well, ultimately it was due to an upcoming construction on a road where lots of the main grandstands were located. And of course, without bums on seats, this event wasn't going to pay for itself. With that, it ends the story of the San Jose Street Circuit. It certainly had its flaws. Quite big flaws, actually. I mean, besides the obvious rail track problem, this track wasn't conducive to creating a good racing product. Even with the changes, it was still too narrow and tight for passing to be a regular occurrence in the headline event, the Champ Car series. That being said though, I actually want to end this on a positive note, because for all the problems that this track had, it managed to garner a very big crowd, considering the size of the track. Yes, the attendance got slightly worse as the years went on, in certain aspects. However, the figures were still pretty impressive. There was a lot of good grandstand seating areas too. Also, the race organisers were proactive in their response to the drivers' track concerns, and they always tried to make sure the event had action on and off track the whole weekend. So whilst it fell by the wayside, you can't argue that they at least didn't try to make it work. That, however, is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Did you like this track? Would you have given it more time, or do you think it should have been stopped in its train tracks much sooner? Say in the comment section below, along with any other street tracks that you want to see videos on. However, until the next video, enjoy the rest of your day.